Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a winter recipe video and I'm going to start off with the delicious squash lasagna. I'm using some fresh spinach and I'm just going to chop that up, and this will be our filling for the lasagna. Once I have chopped up my spinach, I will just add it to a hot pan and I'm going to cook it until it looks a little sad and limp, but this is how we want the spinach to look. And then I'll combine the spinach with the ricotta cheese, the mozzarella cheese, and some garlic as well as salt and pepper.
There are reasons to still go out. Don't sit at home on the couch. Turn up.
I will mix and taste it until it is how I want it. So in this case, I just ended up mixing it for an hour and then I added some more pepper to it.
The TV off the phone. Everyone will be alone if you don't get out your home.
Once I am done with that, I will cook the butternut squash, and this is how we get the butternut squash puree, which I then just put in the blender and I mix it until it becomes a paste-like consistency. And then once that's done, I just add the ricotta cheese, milk, salt, and nutmeg to the mixture. I think it's important to taste test this because you want it to be very creamy, and I used an entire squash even though the recipe calls for half, but I feel like what's the point of only half of it when you can use all of it. And then I just add it to a greased pan and I spread it because this is going to be the bottom of our lasagna. I just spread 1/3 of the butternut squash filling on the bottom. I will top it off with some of the mozzarella and cheddar mixture. Then I will put the cooked lasagna noodles on top. I forgot to mention that I did bring a pot to boil and I cooked some lasagna noodles and then I just put it on top. Once that is done, I just spread half of the spinach filling over the noodles and then I top that with some of the mozzarella cheese and repeat it with the noodles.
There are things to do, people to see. Know you can.
I then basically repeat the same process with the noodle, the filling, the cheese, and more cheese, and then more cheese.
You can do it on your own. There are reasons to still go out. There are reasons to.
Once I get to the top layer of the lasagna, I add a lot of Parmesan cheese on top and also some more mozzarella, and then I'll add some Italian seasoning, paprika, and basil. And I'm telling you guys, the paprika and basil is what makes this so good. Definitely don't skip that because I'm not sure why you would. I'm just telling you it is what makes the lasagna so good. Once I have the fresh basil on top of the lasagna, I will then cover it with some aluminum foil and then put that in the oven. And there we have our cooked butternut squash lasagna. It is so delicious and you can feed an entire family or you can eat it all yourself. And I highly recommend you guys to try this recipe out because it is not that hard and it is very filling and it tastes very good and is perfect for the winter time.
In a blink of an eye, the whole world will go by. If you don't get out soon, you'll be stuck in your room. There are reasons to still go out. There are reasons to still go out. Night walks by the sky.
Now on to the baked pumpkin donuts. I will start off by adding the flour, baking powder, salt, and cinnamon into a large mixing bowl. I chose to use my mixer. I'm adding all of the wet ingredients. So we're going to do the eggs, brown sugar, oil, pumpkin puree, buttermilk, and vanilla. And we're just going to add this all until it is smooth. Have you been let down by the ones before? Do you leave too soon tonight? Once the batter looks combined, I will add in the dry ingredients to the mixture. Oh, never fell in love, 'cause I just got loose, but not when it comes to you. I had already greased my donut pan lightly, although it looks very greasy in this footage. I then filled the donut mold with the completed pumpkin batter. Dressing in black, you're around for the weekend. Dancing at night, you're the light that I won't let go. Once that's in the oven to bake, I will then make the chocolate glaze. And I want you close. We're good for the day. To make the glaze, I started off by heating up some milk in the microwave. Then once that's done, I just add the instant coffee. Then I add in the powdered sugar, cocoa powder, vanilla, and salt until it is all combined and smooth. And in retrospect, I honestly could have made this without the glaze because I think the glaze made the donuts kind of like it didn't taste as good as I wanted it to, and it didn't really taste like chocolate. So I would suggest not to even make the glaze, but it makes for a really pretty donut if you are all about the aesthetic and not much about the taste. It wasn't too bad. I just think that the chocolate glaze didn't really taste like chocolate. It was like really sweet. If you do decide to glaze them, I just put the donuts upside down into the glaze and then I place them on this rack so they just like have the drippy effect, and also this allows for it to set. Then I topped it off with some chopped up chocolate. And there you have your baked pumpkin donuts. We only get the one.